Hey everyone, it's Chris again. Loot or Die is approved for release completely. Steam cards, emoticons, everything's been reviewed, game build, everything. So I'm able to release it at any time. It's tentatively scheduled for next Friday. The only reason that would change is based on the views it was getting and wish list additions for the game. So what I look at is I see how many people are interested, how many people are actually seeing the game on Steam, and if that number drastically drops, because once you're off the front page on Steam, it's very hard to be visible without some kind of marketing campaign. So if I see that drastically drop, I will just release the game a little bit earlier. Obviously, right now it's like 1 a.m., so I'm not going to be releasing the game. But I'm going to take a look at the numbers tomorrow and make a decision because honestly, I just can't wait to play this game. Like, you have no idea. I'm so excited for people to get to experience Loot or Die the way it was meant to be played. There were a lot of hiccups with Xbox downloads being an issue and a couple Microsoft problems, and then I broke the game with a patch, and the fact that it took a month for anything to get fixed or resolved on XBLIG was a real problem. And don't get me wrong, really grateful for XBLIG. They gave me an amazing opportunity, but they definitely made some mistakes at the end of their reign. And as Xbox comes to a close, or XBLIG comes to a close right now, the indie game section, it's good to know, I had a good run at it. It's good to have some retrospective on it, learn from it, but I'm really excited to move on, guys. I'm so excited to be on Steam and have a real opportunity at reaching millions of people. When I was on Xbox and XBLIG, it was the end of that era, and I came on strong. I made 21 games in under 2 years, and I think I was one of the most prolific people, if not one of the most popular in terms of downloads on XBLIG, but it wasn't enough. It was too little too late, and there was no real chance of any of the games taking off. So now that we're on Steam, I'm really looking forward to learning, honing my craft, getting better at this stuff in general, and really learning from such a larger audience. The critical reviews are really helpful. I know people can be real jerks on the internet, and Steam is definitely a part of that section of the internet, but even the jerks help. Getting all that feedback, good or bad, is extremely helpful. Now, it sucks that Greenlight takes so long to get a game approved. I mean, Loot or Die took like a year. I don't know if that's my fault because the game's not amazing looking and I didn't do a trailer, but just in general, those are the kinds of things I'm trying to learn. But let's fast forward now to the point where this game is getting released, and I mean, this is just amazing for me to see, and I'm just so grateful to be on Steam and have another opportunity at releasing this game the way it was meant to be played, with all the patches that were released and everything working. And now I've gone back and I've tweaked the game, something that I didn't feel comfortable doing on Xbox because I didn't know if it would be broken for a month again. So I've gone back and I made the last world much fairer. Stats are much better balanced now. Lifesteal's more balanced. It's not as overwhelmingly powerful. It's still good though. The controls are using the mouse now, and I added, after playing the game for an entire day playtesting, I realized that I needed to make it so you never have to take your hand off the mouse because doing that is kind of annoying. So I've added all secondary controls to all the buttons, so that you never have to take your hand off the mouse. Even deleting items now, you can do X. Entering doors, you can do Z. And firing your like, I can right click to fire. I can push space to fire my my rings instead of having to push Q or E and be like a contortionist with the keyboard. So lots of options now. Game, I think, is definitely better for it. And it has everything I added in later patches to the original Loot or Die. So very excited about that. The Steam netcode I finished. I got working. I was able to test it with 2 computers. I don't know what's going to happen with more people playing, like with a lot more game lobbies available. I'm hoping there won't be any hiccups. We'll have to see though. But the good things is one of the additions to the game is the private mode, so that you can play without anyone being able to join your game. And that was a huge request by people who were annoyed by newer players, or they were annoyed by people who were kind of griefing them a little bit, or even just people they didn't want to play with, just in general. Excuse me. They only wanted to play with their friends. Now, private is not friends only. I haven't learned how to do that yet on Steam. I'm trying to learn that. But it is at least a way to play solo without getting interrupted by other players. Now, the game was meant to be played with other people, so you really should be playing public in general. But if you're online and some guy's annoying you, or somebody is like just kind of stalking you a little bit, you can go private mode and not worry about having to carry someone or whatever. But the game is meant to play publicly, so I would advise against playing private all the time. And it can be really fun playing some of the earlier levels on the harder setting, where you take extra damage. Like World 5 now never had the harder setting implemented, so I didn't make it that your stats reduce on World 5 when you've already beaten it. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the other levels, when you go back and play them after winning, and play with better gear, your stats get reduced to make the game harder, and the enemies deal more damage. In World 5, I just made them deal double damage. And as you see there, I'm getting hit, and I have great gear, and I'm like dying. And the boss will almost one-shot you. So it adds a challenge to it, because otherwise it's just so boring. Otherwise you're one-shotting everyone, and even now I'm killing stuff really fast. But at least I have a chance of dying, and I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. So that's a good thing. Oh, I have a quest to kill these guys. I didn't even realize. But yeah, everything that I wanted to have in the game is in it. Game is good to go and ready to release. And if you guys have any feedback, I'd really appreciate it. We're gonna have to see what happens with the net code. If it doesn't work out and there are issues, you can play privately. That would be a huge disappointment for me, but I would immediately start fixing it. So just keep that in mind. Don't panic if the multiplayer doesn't work. Set it to private and go from there. But I really believe that the first day this game's on, there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of games the first day being played, and that is going to be so cool. If that actually happens, I'm probably going to have to redo the lobby system, because it wasn't designed to have thousands of games at once. It was designed for the crappy Xbox community, and I don't mean they're crappy people. I mean there just wasn't a lot of people, so it wasn't designed for a large community to be all playing at once. So if that happens and this game takes off, I have lots of improvements I want to make. I want more PvP maps. I want more levels in the game. I want a lot more items for the end game. I want more rings. I want the rings to drop in every level instead of only having 2 rings per world. So there's a lot of changes I want to make. Game design updates, more item stats. I want to make like fear shot and poison shot and ice shot and all this other stuff to really add to the bonuses that you get. So those are all things I'd like to add, but for now, I just wanted to get the game working. A satisfactory build of the original Loot or Die as it was meant to be played, and my quest is complete. All right. You know what? I was going to play to the boss, but I might as well show you tokens, because this is a system not every player is going to know. In fact, most people don't know anything about it. So pushing start, I'm going back to my home. Most people aren't even going to know about that at first. They're going to have to learn that. So you push left and you can go home. And now I've completed a quest, so I'm going to turn it in. It says come back tomorrow. But if I go over here, we can add our tokens. Oh, so let me check my items real quick. What do I have right now? I got a movement speed gun. I don't think I want to do that. I got a magic find one that's not upgraded. 5% crit's not very good. But I'm just going to show you guys anyway. I wouldn't normally this one has a 10% life steal, so I upgraded it. I wouldn't normally upgrade a 5% crit. It's the worst crit level possible. But just to show you guys how this works, I'll do that. I'll make the sacrifice. Probably should delete the save anyway when the game starts up. That'd be kind of unfair, right? So if I... Oh, it says press A to upgrade. Oh, I gotta change that. How did I not notice that? Anyway, you push enter to upgrade. And I just got an achievement. I don't know if you can see that because it's a Steam overlay. I'm assuming you can't see that. But I got an achievement just now for upgrading. And if we look at my gun, excuse me, it says upgraded. It went from 400 life to 501. And all the armor and damage went up. So that was a pretty big increase. You can upgrade all 3 of your items that you're carrying. And then you get, I believe, another achievement for that. I'm not 100% sure on it. It's, when you work 18 hours a day, things get blurred. But yeah, I rambled a little bit. I apologize. But we got secondary controls. We got new Steamwork networking code, the private servers, the private options to play. And the game is the way it was meant to be played with all the patches and updates. And guys, I'm excited. This is good to go. The game's ready for release, so I'm going to look at the wish lists and the eyes on the page as they are right now. If they start trending really, really badly down because visibility is going down, I'll release the game, which will put it back in the forefront of the store. So that's where I'm at right now. Game tentatively for Friday. I can release at any time. So I might even release tomorrow. But good news is, no matter what, you will have an entire week of the reduced price. And if you've been following the game and you're paying attention to it now before it possibly gets popular, you can buy it for, I think, 99 cents. I forget what percentage it's reduced by. When it's $2 normally, and I thought I reduced it by 50, but it might have been 40. So it'll be like $1.10 or 99 cents, something like that. But that's like a thank you to you guys for sticking around, and obviously all the weapon names and armor names at World 6 and World 5. They have people's names in there that were big members of the community, even when the community was struggling with all the patches and stuff. So I just wanted to appreciate what you guys did for me last year, and I left all your names on the armor pieces and weapons. All right, thanks guys for the support. Can't wait to play this with you guys. Good luck and have fun.